What up and welcome to Pancal Sports. I'm Easy, joined by my guy Ryan Lintz. We're both from Woodward Sports, former classmates of Michael Kaufman. Shout out to Mr. Kaufman.
I'm Dominic Pasella, current student of Mr. Kaufman, and let's get into it, boys. What are we talking about first?
We've been taking questions all day really about the business, and that's the second hour is really just it's all sports. Jared Goff stuff in there, but I'm willing to take it wherever you want.
I mean, we could open up some line stuff. I mean, so big game this week, Saints bounce back week.
Yes.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it, but you got to.
Yeah.
What happened?
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
You can't pin it all on him though. Whopper Jr. hands. You want to say all that?
6 turnovers in 2 games. That's tough.
Okay.
Whopper Juniors.
But defense fell apart. The problem that I'm seeing is D-line is getting pressure. Edge rushers are getting pressure, but they can't finish.
It's really just Aiden in that aspect. Aiden's the only one getting pressure, and that's why I know you listen to the network. I don't know if you listen to Heavyweights, but during the deadline, I was kind of throwing a fit to go get that guy some help. During the draft, I was throwing a fit to get that guy some help because that's just that's how it works on the defensive line. We broke it down immediately after Thanksgiving on Friday. We showed because the same scheme they used to block Hutch with the Packers. There was 3 guys. They did a rookie tight end they had, and then they pulled a center on a passing play. Which you play football, you pull on running plays.
Yeah.
Hutch is having centers pull over to add extra blockers to him. And then they had A.J. Dillon blocking him too. And then nobody else, with that going on, could win their one-on-one matchup against the offensive line. And then I pulled the tape from the Cowboys game versus the Commanders. Micah Parsons, same blocking scheme. But there's other guys winning those one-on-one matchups. There's nobody else on the defensive line capable of winning one-on-one matchups consistently enough to land an actual sack. And Hutch is just out there on an island by himself. It sucks. I've been crying about it since the draft. I wanted Jalen Carter. I was a big Jalen Carter guy.
Yeah, I mean, Gibbs is doing great, but Carter would have been awesome. I think Sweat was there. Chase Young was there.
Yeah.
The 49ers got him for free. They got him for a bag of chips.
Compensatory pick.
Yeah.
That's after the first 32 picks that they got Chase Young for.
15 sacks since he's been there.
And the thing
games,
too, yeah.
49ers.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing too is okay, people want to so I get it. Brad Holmes has done a phenomenal job at drafting.
Yes. Yeah.
This year's 3rd-round pick. So although I'm patient, I'm going to wait for Hendon Hooker. I know how that process works with quarterbacks. But you've gotten 11 snaps total out of Broderick Martin.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you couldn't get, you weren't willing to give up that value for Chase Young? Because immediately, no matter where you were in that 3rd round, it's going to be higher than a compensatory pick, regardless. The value is just automatically higher because you're within the first, 32 picks.
Yeah.
We weren't willing to match that on a year that looks like you can actually, do something. I don't understand. Don't tell me you're holding hands and And another thing too, a lot of people try to tell me that Broderick Martin's a developmental piece. No, I was there at the first day of training camp in pads. He was running with the ones. He laid a big boom on Dave Montgomery. But from there, he's been a healthy scratch almost every single week outside the Raiders game. So it's if that's a production you're getting out of your 3rd-round pick, but you're not willing to cash it in for Chase Young. What are we doing?
Yeah, it's weird. I think that's something that needs to get addressed. I mean, there's a billion things that need to get addressed on that defense. I mean, C.J. Gardner-Johnson's still hurt. Hopefully he can come back for sometime this year. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is the secondary is falling apart. Brian Branch started out hot, got hurt, and now, he's coming back, and he's just not covering anything.
I think something that bothers me from, a little bit of a film nerd, I'm not, a coach's level by any means, but, if you watch the coverage in those games, it's tight. Dan Campbell had a presser yesterday too. It's tight coverage. They're just getting beat, and for some reason, I know it's easier to blame Aaron Glenn, but it's kind of baseless if you actually watch the film, and it drives me crazy when people do that because one, obviously no one's winning the matchup against the offensive line, but 2, there's coverage on those guys. It's just one thing that Goff doesn't have is mobility. Remember the play against Green Bay where Jordan Love just scampers off to the other side of the field once there finally is pressure. And he just makes a field across the field to a guy who's only had 1 catch in the season. That's the key benefit of having a little bit of mobility with your quarterback. And for some reason, Lions fans just can't admit when guys get beat. That's how the NFL works. You watch BD, and say other guys drive Bentleys too. They get paid. There's elite players on the other side of the field too. I think people aren't willing to admit that. And then to crap on the defense consistently, but damn well when the offense turns the ball over, your defense is already up against it in a short yard situation. You're never going to benefit your team turning the ball over. It's a total net negative because one, you're taking points off the board for your offense, and then you're giving the ball to the other team's offense in short yard situations. Your defense is never going to prosper that. But I think what people are missing is with those turnovers, for Goff single-handedly 6 in the past 2 games. Defense only allowed 5 touchdowns on total. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones like with a scoop and score. And I think the only defensive touchdown in the past 2 weeks. But I think there's more to be said on the turnovers than there is like the actual defensive performance. Although it's obviously not great, but they could use some manpower, in my opinion.
Yeah, like for football, we run the power team, so we've been told like defense is everything because we're not gonna go and get a lot of points. So we need to lock people up and like we can't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
That's just how it is in our program,
exactly.
and that's how it should be in every program.
Yes.
Is that we got lucky against the Bears. We should not have won that football game. Goff kind of stunk it up, but like obviously it's not all on him. But definitely some adjustments to be made, and I don't know, big game. Derek Carr sucks, so I mean that's I'm not gonna say it's a cakewalk judging the past 2 weeks, but it's something to look forward to.
I gotta say in the network, defend the Glenn, and it's not because he's great by any means, but I just don't think he has the manpower to do work. But if Derek Carr puts in work against the Detroit Lions defense, then I probably might have to switch sides.
I'm hoping it doesn't fall back like that Geno Smith game earlier in the year where we just can't get home and he's just picking apart like intermediate routes the whole day.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Our D-line this year, like I was a huge fan of Gibbs, and I collect sports cards, and I invested a bunch in Gibbs. He's my guy. But like seeing these last 3 weeks, like I don't think we've had more than 1 sack since that Raiders game. That we got 5. But like, is that just because Jimmy G is a statue, or like I don't know? Come playoff time when we got to play Jalen Hurts or even like Dak Prescott or Brock Purdy, like I can't see us getting after the quarterback and matching their defense at least because those are all elite defenses. And like I think we got the division on wraps. But after that, I think if we have to play any of those 3 teams, like I don't know how much confidence I got in them to go out there.
Well, I mean, look what happened with Lamar and the Ravens. That was embarrassing to see because we had the best mobile quarterback, arguably, we've seen in the NFL in, past 10 years. And, I mean, he's great, but, like, he's not great enough where the Ravens should not have been picking us apart like that. Like, we are too good of a football team to be embarrassed. Like
even Justin Fields, like, his first game back, he's like, oh, easy, like, 110 rushing yards or whatever he had, like, and he hasn't played in 4 weeks. And he, like, matches his season high in 1 game against us. And, like, Geno Smith has his best game against us. Jordan Love has his best game against us. Like, I don't know if it's just all pressure-based or, like, something schematics going on, but I don't know.
I mean, the reality of it is, like, you can't get pressure on a quarterback, and he has all day to read the field. And, like, defensive back is the hardest position to play, like, in the league. Like, the athletes you have to cover, it's insane. They're guys that are running, like, 4.3s or 4.5s at the wide receiver position. So you're telling me, like, for 6 seconds, I have to, like, run backwards and contain this guy that can run a 4.5. Like, if you can't get pressure on a quarterback, and if you do get pressure, he's mobile enough to get away and make a throw on the run, like, you're cooked every single time. And I think that's why you see the consistency of mobile quarterbacks destroying this Detroit Lions defense. There's no pressure on those guys, and the little pressure you do get, they're easily evaded because there's Aiden's the only one applying the pressure. And it's a wrap. And like we said, Jalen Carter, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, somebody would have did something. And it just sucks because I feel like this year was the year, man. Like, I think Big Johnson's a big part of that Detroit Lions offense. Like, if you look at the first half of Jared Goff's year when he first got here, it was pretty awful. Like, everyone was clowning him versus his numbers afterward. If I'm not mistaken, I think he had 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions the first half. And then once Ben Johnson got involved with the offense, it was like 12 to like 2. On top of that, he was like 3-1-3, I believe, like the last half of the season with Ben Johnson like controlling the offense. Like, that guy's leaving. He's getting a head coaching job. Like, I think that's why they drafted so heavily offense though, because they know like, okay, well, if our like brilliant like play caller is going to be leaving, at least we have like talent surrounded by Jared Goff, and if he gets the ball to them, we look at Laporta, he's a yak guy. Jahmyr Gibbs, yak guy. Like, you have the ability with those guys to make something, and maybe an offensive coordinator to be attracted enough by those pieces to want to come here and work. But like, ultimately, the goal going forward, I mean, I think Hendon Hooker has to work out. This is going to work long term.
And like not only that, but like a good like best offensive line in the NFL, arguably.
Yeah.
Like a lot of young guys, but then you got a guy like Taylor Decker. He's older. Like I think that's like what we need to look forward to in the draft, the offseason, like free agents. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have a big next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
No, regardless.
I think that's a big point that like a lot of people are scared to talk about or like don't want to talk about, is that Taylor Decker is old. And like, as much as we want to draft defense, and I'm all in on it too. Like, how long do we have Decker?
Yeah.
How long until he's just...
Same with Ragnow.
You got Sorsdale, dude.
And Ragnow's got like a serious like foot injury.
Yeah, and we didn't mention it earlier, but Anzalone being out, that doesn't help our defense.
Yeah, definitely. And that's
he might miss a few weeks too.
Yeah, Dan Campbell's been out for a bit, which like I don't know what that translates to in the NFL world, but it sounds like more than 1 week for damn sure. And like this week's matchup, that's pivotal because you got one of the best catch passing running backs in the league right now, with Alvin Kamara. You got a rookie Jack Campbell's gonna be assigned with that's an issue. And then Taysom Hill too, like he's just out there doing all kinds of freaky stuff. They got him at quarterback. He's also pretty solid tight end. Like, to have your rookie linebacker out there in charge of like dealing with that like complicated offense, it's rough. And not to mention Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn, they come from New Orleans pedigree, so they're kind of like New Orleans side of things is familiar with like the schematics. They all come from the same coaching tree. Yeah. So like, there's like a little like insider trading there too.
Yeah.
But I think they should win. I still think the Detroit Lions should win. That offensive line, it's just like they're good enough to where you just bully teams. Like, all right, well, you have to stop this run before anything else. Like we're gonna protect Goff by pounding the ball down your throats until you're able to stop us. Pause.
Yeah, but I mean, Gibbs and Montgomery, arguably the best committee for or duo for running backs in the entire NFL.
Yeah.
So I think if they do their jobs, they do it right. Then I think if they just do their jobs, they hit the hole, line blocks, and everything is done. Then just take it slow, run the clock, own the football. Because last game, Packers blew us out just in terms of time of possession. That was sad. And for a mainly run team, that was just bad because we just kept on trying to throw the ball. Goff couldn't get it done. He threw the ball, counted as a fumble. Still think that was not a fumble, but it is what it is. And
that's where turnovers kill you, man. You can't turn the ball over. You just can't. And one common theme in every Detroit Lions win, I want to say dating back to at least last year, there's a turnover in each and every one of those. Even that Bears game, there was that one turnover. You know what I'm saying? Like turnovers are key to winning football games, both for your defense and for your offense. You can't turn the ball over, and you have to turn the ball over. It's a complete net value, either side of the ball you look at it. It's net positive for your defense, net negative for your offense. You just can't do it, man. And I think that's one of the reasons I have such a hard time with like wanting to commit or support the idea of locking in Jared Goff for like more years at like a cap crippling contract, like the 45 to 50 million precedent that Daniel Jones set last year. I'm not paying a guy that can't do anything outside the structure of play. Like, no offense to Jared Goff, he is good, but like when things go bad, he poops his pants.
Yeah,
we've seen it this past 2 weeks.
He can't do anything under pressure. He's not mobile. Like I love Goff. I'm all in on Jared Goff, but like the problem is that he can't get out of the pocket. Once he is out of the pocket, he's cooked.
Yeah,
and we are in the era of the mobile quarterback.
Yes.
Like there's no doubt about that. Every quarterback you see in the NFL that's elite has legs. Yes. Even like Josh Allen, like he's been turning the ball over like crazy, but like
makes up for it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's throwing 40 touchdowns a year, and Goff is throwing like 25.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the other thing about it.
And he still like has a bit of legs. Like he still has a bit of motion. Like after Brady, Roethlisberger, and Rodgers, like they're not here anymore. Like it's a whole different era. It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And I think the Lions need to adapt, and hopefully like Goff could get something figured out, or the Hendon Hooker experiment.
Yes, that's where I'm at. I'm down for the Hendon Hooker experiment. It's like you got the mobility there, you got the rookie contract. 'Cause that's another thing I think a lot of people forget about too is like, as much as my guy Neil on the network likes to preach rookie deals, he doesn't stay true to it when he talks about the quarterback position. If you get Hendon Hooker on that rookie deal, you can stack this team. I mean, you talk about Jared Goff going to the Super Bowl. Yeah, he was on a rookie deal, and the LA Rams team was stacked. Yeah, had the Dominican Sue, the guy that one linebacker, I think it was Fowler, I want to say, from Jacksonville.
And prime Todd Gurley. That was like one of the best running back seasons we've seen in a long time.
They made the move for Jalen Ramsey. Then once they paid Goff, I'd say, look, you either get rid of this team, which again, football is the ultimate team sport. You don't get rid of your team, or you get rid of this guy that we need to stack this team for and able to like operate. They decided to get rid of Jared Goff and got an upgrade to Matthew Stafford. And it's just like, you can't do that, man. And that's why I'm down with Hendon Hooker. Jalen Hurts similar scenario too, right? Jalen Hurts, second round pick. He wasn't the greatest like quarterback prospect. But hey, kind of a mid-season, his sophomore season, we finally started. I think they were like just above 500. They lost a playoff game they played against Tampa Bay. But, okay, rookie deal. Let's go get him A.J. Brown. Let's go grab some more pieces on this defense. Next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa, looking kind of mid. Okay, he's a rookie deal. We can afford to pay Tyreek Hill an absurd amount of money. Now he's an MVP candidate. Joe Burrow, rookie deal. I mean, the rookie deal doesn't factor into Joe Burrow because they drafted a lot of those guys. But you need a team. It's a team sport. Like I think Joe Burrow is good. I get kind of killed for this take, but I feel like he's blessed with having Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd on top of Joe Mixon.
But I mean, that doesn't change the fact that he's an elite quarterback. Like he knows football.
Yes.
He's great at it. But his receivers do definitely help him out.
It's a team aspect. Like football is like just the most team sport. So it's like Give me a quarterback on a rookie deal that's not eating a quarter of my salary cap, and I can go build the team around him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How do you think the Patriots built their dynasty with Brady? Is that he was never the highest paid quarterback.
Thank you.
Was he ever top 3?
Not until Tampa. He constantly took less money to build the Super Bowl roster because he knew.
Yeah.
I have this thing. It's called like the 12% rule, and technically, if you want to get down to like the actual math, it's like 12.6%. There's not been there's 3 quarterbacks that has ever won a Super Bowl while taking more than 12.6% of the team's salary cap space. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
3 of the best to ever do it. 3 of the top 5 ever.
Those are like the 3 most, I think in my opinion, talented quarterbacks of all time.
So it's like quarterback, you can't cripple your team by just paying these quarterbacks like absurd amount of money. It's a team sport at the end of the day. Take your rookie or sophomore, whatever he is at that point, stack the team up.
Yeah.
Stack the team up. As immobile as Jared Goff is, he went to a Super Bowl with a stacked team.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, mobile, we give him a stacked team. Like Tua, a stacked team, you're going to the playoffs. Like, it's how you got to do it. It's a team sport, man.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, let's switch gears. So Michigan State just brought in Jonathan Smith, head coach from Oregon State, and
cleaned house.
Yeah, everybody's leaving, and I think that's fine by me. Like you have wide receiver Tyrell Henry, Noah Kim and Caden Hauser, both gone.
Yeah.
I think I'm not mad about it at all, because as much as like people are leaving, we're gonna get people.
Yeah.
And to be honest, Noah Kim and Caden Hauser, I'm a State fan. They suck.
Yeah.
They were not good. They were not good for the program. Tyrell Henry, everybody's like, oh, he's one of the best receivers. No, he wasn't. Trey Mosley was. And State, like, they're still not going to be an elite program next year.
No.
And I understand that. It's going to take a few years. I mean, I think Smith's first year was, 4-8? Or 1 I don't know.
So. I know that he has 3 consecutive winning seasons the past 3 years in Oregon State.
Yeah.
And Oregon State's not like one of those programs where like everyone's signing up to go because they want to get that Beaver badge on their like no, they're not one of those programs. So I think he's truly like a good coach at the end of the day, and it's going to take some time to rebuild that program because they're in a very toxic place right now. And like I think it's almost good. And nothing against these like the young men that are leaving the program through the transfer portal, but I think it's good to get a fresh start with no negativity in the building. You know what I'm saying? Like just to start fresh and everyone's bought in with the new piece they brought in John Smith. Do you have a question from the audience? Let's go. Question from the audience?
Yeah. Do you think the Detroit Lions got a chance at going all the way to the Super Bowl?
This year?
This year.
No. I wish.
No?
No.
I
really wish.
I mean, I'm still like, I'm a kid deep down. Like, I mean, I grew up Lions. So I'm still going to say, like, oh, we're going to the Super Bowl this year. And now, like, logically, I don't think so. I don't think we're beating a team like the Philadelphia Eagles.
No way.
But,
no chance in hell.
I mean, I'm still keeping that door open.
Like, obviously as a fan, like, I want to say, yeah. I promise you I do. I'm older than you guys. I've been a Lions fan, like, longer. I got to witness the 0-16 team. But if you look at the reality of the situation, like, outside of KC, beginning of the year, and by the way, without Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, I don't think the Detroit Lions have beat a team above 500. The teams that have come across above 500, I'm talking about the Seattle Seahawks, which they're kind of flopping out too. They beat us at home. We go back into the Baltimore Ravens, whooped our butts, and then we just lost to a Packers team that had no business beating us at home on primetime television. Like, yeah, we're winning and dominating teams, but it's like they're like the Panthers or like the Packers at the beginning of the season, like
the Buccaneers, like Baker Mayfield.
And exactly, the Bucs don't look that good anymore. I know when we played them, they were like 3-1 coming off their bye, but I mean they've dropped. I think they only got like 4 or 5 wins now. Like they have not been looking too hot.
I like this team, but
I don't know. I just can't see us. I could see us winning that first playoff game if we get like whoever comes out of the South or we got to play Minnesota or something. I could see us winning at home against them, but like once we got to play Jalen Hurts, so like I don't see how we're stopping him.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't picture Goff in the playoffs going for a shootout with Jalen Hurts and coming out on top.
But that's the other thing too is like the numbers on his career outdoors are below like 50, 60 degrees. Like,
yeah, if we don't have home field advantage, which we won't. If we have to play in Philadelphia in December, it's bad.
Cooked. You think they're going to Super Bowl? I'm sorry. That's really negative there. I apologize, guys.
No, I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. I do got another question though.
Yes, sir.
What position do you think we need to focus on next year?
I want a defensive tackle. My show is called the Heavyweights. We do favor the bigger fellas by nature, but the best Detroit Lions team in my lifetime, I'm a little bit too young for Barry Sanders, but it was the Ndamukong and the boys.
Yeah.
And that's just
Nick Fairley.
Nick Fairley,
love Nick Fairley.
Ziggy Ansah, like that. that's-
DeAndre Levy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like Louis Delmas. Well, he was like a linebacker, but like.
Well, like that's the thing though too is like you watch Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know if you guys like watch all the PFF stats or whatever, but he's like third in the league in like pressures. And you see it, he just can't land a sack. If you have like another piece there, he's either the big guy's gonna get it or the quarterback's not gonna have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
And then Aiden's gonna get the sack. It's tremendous for because the other thing too is like when we had that defensive line, like our cornerbacks weren't the best in the league. But 2 years in a row, we had I believe it was Darius Slay who tied for most interceptions in the league, and then Glover Quinn led the league in interceptions with the defensive line in front of him. And like I'm fortunate enough to have a relationship with both those guys where I asked them, that's the same answer they give me. You need a defensive line. Like when we had Sue, we were killing it in the secondary because they were rushing quarterbacks and the bad throws. You know, I definitely think it's defensive tackle. What do we think?
I mean, I agree. Like last year, James Houston was a demon, and he was getting paid next to nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's still hurt right now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he come back
Should
late
be back
December.
soon.
Yeah. So that like it's something that key pieces, like I said, like center because Ragnow, and then tackle Taylor Decker. So like develop these guys while like Decker is still there, and get them ready and. Yeah, that or like everybody says receiver. I don't think we need any more skill players.
No, I think
like
we're good.
Amon-Ra's doing great. Khalif Raymond's doing great. I mean,
J-Mo's coming along.
Yeah, J-Mo, he's finally starting to cook.
Yeah.
Don't try the J-Mo patty, by the way.
Speaking of J-Mo cooking, yeah. Did you do it?
Yeah, no, I
record
had
it?
that. I asked for a hamburger and a McFlurry from
Yeah.
McDonald's and did a food review on it, like on video. Most disappointing thing I've ever had, I think.
What are the odds of getting Mr. Kaufman to try one of those? Like once the tooth heals up. It's a McDonald's double cheeseburger.
No, it's just a regular cheeseburger. No
Just a
doubt.
regular cheeseburger?
Yeah, with an
Okay.
Oreo McFlurry.
With an Oreo McFlurry.
Just like a scoop of Oreo on it.
We get Mr. Kaufman to try that on camera.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to happen. A McFlurry on a cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like, it
It's awful as it
sounds.
sounds.
It
It's
sounds
awful
bad.
as it
It's
sounds.
awful.
Yeah.
There's
Did
no
you
way.
try it?
Why would anyone
Oh,
do
yeah,
that?
we tried it on air. It was gross.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
No. But McDonald's shake's always good.
Yeah. That's the good part is like once you give up on that, at least you still have the shake, right? But like
But
fries work in ice cream, but the burger,
Yeah,
ketchup,
fries
no,
and
that's
ice cream.
not-
I will
yeah.
dip fries in a shake every day of the week.
Yeah.
But no.
especially at Wendy's, like if you put fries in the Frosty, that's ballgame.
That
That's
is
the
bad,
best fast food experience that I think you could possibly have. Like besides Taco Bell. Like Taco Bell.
Yeah. Oh, crowd
Okay,
disagrees.
we got haters in the crowd. But I don't
Yeah, haters in the building.
I don't care because I think fries in the Frosty or a chicken chalupa supreme. Or a chicken chalupa supreme. I'm getting
When
dissed
she-
on right now.
Hey, when she dropped it on you while you said chicken, it makes it sound kind of sus because you're to blurt you out.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like if you try the chicken.
I love a chicken chalupa supreme, but I don't know. I got beef with fast food right now. I got Chipotle last night, and they decided I ordered the chicken tacos. They decided to not put chicken in them. Like literally, I just
go
had
back?
tacos. Well, I DoorDashed it because I was at work, so
Did
I
you,
ordered
like,
it
did you
to
tell
my
DoorDash?
job. Yeah. I did like the whole thing. They gave me a free entree, but I was still like, I'm at work, I'm hungry,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, I got to deal with having. I can't even call them tacos because I don't even know what they were.
How do you forget
Like-
the chicken taco?
It's
I do
literally
chicken
the only part that you need.
So what was in it?
It was just beans, rice, lettuce, and some sour cream. Like I ate it because I was hungry, but like
You're sick.
you gotta do what you gotta do. Like I was starving. I was like, all right, cool. Like I'll just have it.
You're gross.
And
Judging you. I'm
I,
playing.
like there was just a sense of disappointment. Anyways, we got
Question
somebody in the crowd.
apologize.
So, like, what do y'all think about, like, the Michigan cheating scandal? Like, do y'all genuinely, like, think, like, nobody knew but them? Like, the players had to know. At least
Yeah.
one of them.
Well, I mean, they're all scumbags. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
But I mean, most people know how I feel. Well, not here, I guess. Yeah. All right. I'm not feeling the love today, I guess. But Michigan, yeah, they cheated like crazy. Connor Salians is a POS. Harbaugh's a POS. And I don't know if I should come on air
Hey,
saying
this
that.
guy's tight with Harbaugh, man. Be careful.
I did get to eat lunch with Jim Harbaugh. That was
I'm
one of
so
my
sorry
cool.
to hear that.
No, that was pretty cool though. I got to film him golfing with some people we work with, and one thing about Harbaugh that I said to the other class, he's obsessed with Diet Coke, and I don't know why, but he literally downed like 5 or 6 Diet Cokes in a span of like 2 hours. So
Yeah, it's such
that's
a
the only
Jim
thing I got on Harbaugh. But and I like took a picture with him, but he like he almost looks like a cartoon in real life. Like he doesn't look real. Like it looks like I photoshopped him into the picture. I don't know how to explain it, but
I took a picture of him too at Dante Moore's game.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing. I look photoshopped.
this isn't even real, dude.
Yeah.
Like Dante Moore at King? Or no,
Yeah,
he's at
yeah.
UCLA now, right?
Yeah, UCLA now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got like a frumpy face, Jim Harbaugh. But back to the question of the cheating. Like, I don't think the players knew, but the coaching staff definitely knew. Like one of their I think it was a linebackers coach, Partridge. Like the reason why he got fired because he was like trying to cover it up. He got caught covering it up. So if you're covering something up, you clearly knew about it. I don't know if it was like all the way to the point where Jim Harbaugh knew, but at the same time, like one of the things about leadership is like you have to be accountable for everything falls on you. Like it's your building, it's your program. You're still supposed to be in charge and knowing of everything going on. So like if he didn't or if he did, it's a bad look either way. It just really is. And I think it's really unfortunate because I think that team's talented enough. I think Jim Harbaugh is a good enough of a coach where like that wasn't needed. Like sign stealing, like sign stealing is a thing that everybody does. Like we did it. I don't know if you guys like when you watch film, you're like looking to see like the quarterback does this, that means they're running left. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone looks for that stuff on film. It's not. I don't think that's cheating whatsoever. But you to the point where you're dressed up in a fake wig and shades on the Central Michigan sideline. That's above and beyond like weird and sketchy. Like what else are you doing if you're like going to that extent? You know what I'm saying? Like. Yeah. Are you putting stuff in the Gatorade? Like what are we doing? I don't know. It's just a little sketchy to me. You had another question?
Do you think like that's like the only reason they did so good this season?
No.
Like you think they would have did worse without the cheating?
No, that's why I was so disappointed they did it because like they're still a phenomenal football program. It's so unnecessary to go above and beyond that extent for something as simple as like sign stealing. It's like it's all on TV. Like watch the television, you get the same intellect. I don't know, like what are we doing? You know, you guys are tremendously talented. You don't need to stoop to that level. I don't. It's gross and embarrassing for. I'm not a Michigan guy. I'm a Michigan State guy too as well. But pretty tight with Braylon Edwards. Fortunately enough, here at Woodward Sports too. So it's like I'm embarrassed for him. You know, everywhere we go, he has to answer questions about that. And it's like, that's gotta be rough. Yeah. He's and like obviously he's a Michigan guy, so he never wants to fess up to us. So he's like, and he has to be the one saying the stupid excuses. Like, oh God.
Yeah. Speaking of scandal, I don't know if we could talk about this, but Josh Giddey. Let's
talk about something else. Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on.
What do you think? That's your age group.
It is my age group. So yeah. I mean, I technically I could talk.
Take it from my pool, dog. That's my selection.
But like he did like, but I think she's like 16.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, no. We're gonna move on. Okay. Back to what we're talking about. Michigan State.
Yeah.
Okay.
State.
So Oregon State running back. Josh Giddey.
He's still playing. He's still playing. So
I mean, did you see after practice one day, like the media interviewed him and he was just kind of like,
no comment.
Yeah, I can't really talk about that. Like, yeah, he's screwed. But like then again, like if the girl was like in an 18+ nightclub, she had to lie about her age. So, yeah, it's just weird. Like, it is just weird and all around. It's sketchy subject. I just got an ESPN notification that police are looking into it. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I think both parties might be screwed there. I don't think Josh Giddey's out of a job.
Yeah,
but I definitely think that it's gonna be hard for him. Like, there's already the memes going on.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Dude, that's the thing too. Like the digital age, like you're automatically guilty. Like, even if like nothing did take place, like. Once it's a rumor, once it's a meme, it's a wrap for you. Like it's a wrap. Like
the
once
whole,
the memes are up, you're guilty.
Like the Connor Bedard situation. I won't extend on that, but like,
I feel. So, thank you for changing the subject, by the way. But yeah, like Corey Perry and Connor Bedard's mom. I don't know what we're allowed to talk about here, but like like him getting cut from the team. My question is like, where's that rumor stem from? Like, why is that even a thing?
The GM said it was unrelated. I looked it up.
Yeah.
And the GM did say like it wasn't related, but I think the fact that he has to come out and say it wasn't related to that situation makes it seem like there is a situation going on. So
yeah,
I don't know.
But by that standard though, because there was no reports other than like that randomly being a thing. Which by the way, as a Red Wing fan, I'm gonna buy into it. Connor Bedard, you should leave the Blackhawks immediately. Come to Detroit.
Yeah, you got to bring Kane. You got Patrick Kane now. I mean,
come on, dude. Why would you not want to learn from Patrick Kane? Corey Perry, obviously, POS if he's hitting on your mom. Yeah. Come to Detroit, man. We don't do that here.
We need power play guys, and obviously you're scoring goals like crazy, so bring them over. I'm not even a hockey guy like that, but I know a little bit.
But it's like, dude, if, like by that standard though, that's the crazy thing about the internet is like, again, like you're just automatically guilty no matter like as soon as it's out, if it picks up enough speed, like it's gonna be on like your resume like forever. Everyone's gonna like think that about you, and I think it's kind of rough for Bedard and Corey Perry. But it's like by that standard though, any player that ever gets cut, are we just assuming he, had relations with somebody else's mom on the team?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing behind it. I think it's funny how it got going, but yeah, that one's pretty crazy.
It's just weird. Like being a high schooler that wants to like go into an industry where you're on air all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of scary. Like having a social platform and then like somebody could literally like take a picture of you, put Snapchat text over it, and then say it's you.
Yeah.
And then you're screwed. So
Yeah.
like it's just weird how the whole like you said the digital age thing works, and like that's what we're at now.
Yeah.
Because it's scary. Like because digital footprint is a major thing.
Yeah.
Like I have a social media account for like my high school, and like that's like a major
You got
concern.
a lot of
Like,
cancelable stuff on there I saw earlier today.
yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I did at one point, but yeah, some of the memes went too far.
We have a question from Mr. Kaufman.
Yeah. Hi, guys. We are on a time. You talk about social media and time and getting things in on time for social media. We got to wrap this up, unfortunately. So I figured I would ask you one last question about the importance of social media for you. But you're going to have to make it quick because I've got only 2 minutes left. So if you got 2 minutes to tell me why is social media important, go.
It's a brilliant way to market yourself. Like, especially in this industry, it's just so competitive. Like, you're going to have to market yourself. You have to get an audience behind you that then forces a network to give you a chance. And that's kind of what I did at Woodward Sports. Myself and Spinny that you saw in the clip there is like, we were just doing like back office stuff, and then we started on podcasts. And not only did we do the podcast, but then we'd clip the podcast, then we like into like YouTube segments, and clip those into like YouTube shorts and reels, and even beyond that, every time we dropped an episode, we'd make like some goofy video to market that. To constantly market yourself, build yourself, capitalize on anything good that happened during that show. And social media is huge for yourself. It's ability to like, I mean, people are making money on social media. I'm saying like you can market yourself, make your own business on social media. It's huge.
Especially with stuff I do, because I'm not really on camera. I do all the behind-the-scenes stuff. But when I was at the Lions training camp, I would film Dan Campbell's press conference. He'd come in at 8 a.m. He'd talk till 8:10. And like we have to get that video up on Twitter and Instagram, and I got to send it out to our social team within like 10 minutes after he's done talking. Because we have to get, especially in our business, like, because we're competing with different companies, like, bars, like other, other sports companies. Whoever gets there first, that's who people are going to look for, because people just want the content. They don't really care how they get it, they just want it. So you want to be the first one to the content at all times. So making sure you're always hitting that strict deadline and getting stuff out right away is very key.
And it's a way to interact with people you can't normally have access to. Like, I've gotten, like, Darius Slay, Glover Quinn. Like, I didn't know them personally. I just knew him through social media and quarantine. I hit him up. Like, hey, would you come on my podcast? And I actually know I can ask Darius Slay a question about AG and the defense. Same thing. Social media is huge. Huge to your generation's advantage. Everything that you posted on that TikTok, you should definitely make a YouTube channel and post as, like, YouTube Shorts as well.
Yeah.
Everything. Even this. Like, even, like, you're kind of, I'm saying, like, I would even cut the clip off right after like the Josh Giddey stuff and the laugh. Because like people are like, oh, whoa, and they want to hear like the rest of the podcast,
Yeah. So while we're on that topic, Dami.dimes on TikTok. Yeah, Dom Pasella official on Instagram. Yeah, if you're into sports, if you're into decent looking 17-year-old guys.
Josh Giddey.
Yeah.
On that note, before we hit Josh Giddey anymore, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by, Dan, Ryan, and we appreciate you so much, and congratulations on all your success, especially at Woodward Sports. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and let's have a nice round of applause from our studio audience, and last shot of our three guys there, and there we go.
Thank you for having us,
Boys.
Good job. I was just letting you
Thank you
guys
guys.
go back and forth.
That was
You were cooking.
Yeah, you're cooking.